So as we're in the era of the digital estate, until now, there hasn't really been a viable commercial solution available to institutions and families to provide them any level of guarantee or assurance that their most valuable assets would have the opportunity to maintain themselves for the value of forward heirs and successors. We're in the age now where, based upon the tools and capabilities that digital computing provides us, we have the opportunity now to leave an extremely valuable and rich legacy. However, there are significant challenges that relate to maintaining that content for forward heirs, predominantly due to technology obsolescence. We've all seen obsolescence occur in our lives. We've gone from LPs to cassette tapes to CDs, and now we're generating digital files and MP3s that we run on our Apple products. But these changes in technology and these issues with technical obsolescence really force a huge dilemma to the average consumer. It takes constant vigilance and due diligence to maintain digital assets across technology flux. So at Gen-Ark, we've developed a permanent solution. We are a hybrid company. We're part finance company and part technical services company. We provide our clients with state-of-the-art private online archives. Our clients' content that they preserve with us covers a broad spectrum. It certainly includes the high-value sentimental assets, what we refer to as heirloom assets, so certainly photos and videos and annotations and all of the descriptive and or metadata that might be associated with those assets, but also critical documentation, information that relates to wills and trusts, medical information. The list goes on and on and on, and it's not necessarily specific to any particular customer, but our application via Gen-Ark provides the opportunity for our clients to manage virtually any digital file type, all under one roof, if you will. So every one of our clients procures their own private cloud solution and our digital estate asset management system. We've designed our application to support generational succession and to allow our custodial management of client assets across future technology changes. We utilize a unique and secure financial trust to ensure the permanent protection of every generational archive. We also back our product with a very unique 25-year cash warranty and data escrow return policy. For some of those of you who had an opportunity to attend our recent webinar with wealthmanagement.com, you'll recognize this study that we had quoted. McAfee, a couple of years back, had produced this digital asset survey, actually September of 2011. And one of the things that's very interesting is that as a result of this survey, it's very clear that personal records and sentimental assets trump in value all of the other types of digital assets that clients maintain within a digital estate. When we look out onto the current landscape and we consider what other options are out there for individuals, families, or institutions to preserve digital assets, there are many options, but none of them really address a permanent solution. And so when we look at this matrix of what are the options available to those families that are interested in preserving digital estates for current and future generations, the first option, which is very obvious, is they can do nothing, not necessarily preferable. Many interested parties will look out to free and social networking platforms as a way to quasi-store and share their valuable information. When you're looking in a preservation environment, it's very important to note that many of these online services, such as Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest, will downgrade the original asset quality from a resolution standpoint. In a preservation model, that's a definite no-no, based upon the fact that those downgraded resolutions will not render on future hardwares that are utilizing high-resolution screens and viewing applications, etc. backup services are typically looked at as a comparison or an alternate to the type of services that we provide at Gen-Ark, and it's very important that folks consider the terms and conditions of use that are associated with those types of services. For instance, Carbonite is one that offers unlimited storage for a quoted $59.95 a year. Specifically in their terms and conditions, they state that should an individual's use fall.
Welcome to GoToWebinar. Webinars made easy.
View, organize, or share content, which makes that a significant challenge to anybody that's looking to utilize that type of service, preserve content. There are photo sharing sites such as Flickr, Shutterfly, Picasa. Again, provide a type of subsidized storage model, yet there are certain pitfalls associated with the terms and conditions of those types of services, meaning that they provide themselves the opportunity to review data, to data mine data. They're in shared environments. They're not ultimately secure, and they themselves reserve the right to change, cancel, modify terms and conditions of use at any point in time. Local media can be relied upon as a solution. However, physical storage media degrades. Multiple copies have to be maintained, and from a long-term preservation model, from a succession model, the interfaces associated with those types of removable media probably won't even be readable by future machines. So when you look out in the landscape and other conventions that people might rely on for short-term data storage and preservation, there's really no permanent solution that fits the bill, such as as we've developed with the Gen-Ark service template. So as I've mentioned, ours is a permanent solution, and we solve dilemmas associated with long-term digital asset preservation. We guarantee the data integrity across technology change and obsolescence. Our terms and conditions of service are really the antithesis of other contemporary service offerings in the marketplace. Ours are ultra-private, ultra-secured, permanent, and provide for succession to forward generations and heirs. As I mentioned earlier, we're very much a hybrid company. We combine a finance and cash management model with our tech services and deliver a warranted and permanent digital estate management service. We're the only ones in this space to the best of our knowledge today. We wrap our services with a blue ribbon concierge service and support model. We engage our clients across all aspects of their archival and preservation projects. We assist them with scoping their storage requirements. We assist them with establishing best practices for managing their content across multiple users and varying and relatively diverse family dynamics. Converting old analog content to digital can represent a significant challenge for many parties. We handhold our clients through that process. We have maintained relationships with organizers, professional organizers across the country who we can make available to our clients on a regional basis. Many of our clients choose to generate very rich productions, if you will, from the types of content that they archive with us, such as biographies, history books, multimedia presentations, movies, etc. We provide them with a whole suite of services and capabilities to assist them with that. And ultimately, the end game is to make sure that their content is organized, it's converted, and it's housed in a secure repository such as a Gen-Ark. Recently, we acquired a company based out of Denver, Colorado called ScanGuru. ScanGuru is one of the first mobile scanning services of its kind. Our vans are equipped with state-of-the-art digital conversion equipment. We come on site to our customers' premises, and we convert in their driveway or at their place of business all of their critical documents, all of their photos, all of their slides, and we pick up video for drop-off and shipment to our conversion customers. Every ScanGuru customer receives a 90-day trial Gen-Ark as a method of delivery of their converted content, and it's a great service. We're very happy to have the ScanGuru team on board. The service is currently available in Denver and the greater Seattle area. Our growth template has us to be rolling out 32 vans across the 32 NFL cities inside the next 36 months. So the ScanGuru service is coming to a metropolitan market near you. Our product pricing is very unique. The cost to provide permanent data preservation is not inexpensive. This goes far beyond just traditional backup in the cloud. I'll talk a little bit more going forward about the components that make up our solution. We charge a one-time fee for our service, and that is a significant aspect as it relates to guaranteeing succession as it might relate to failure to renew a subscription type of a service. Our base membership is $999, and that includes 1 gigabyte of complimentary storage. What our clients procure for that is dedicated private cloud infrastructure. It's virtual private server, it's multiple geographically disparate mirrors, transcoding technology, rendering technology, and our application running in its own instance on its own virtual machine. We also include high-level encryption, both for data at rest as well as session encryption. We run 256-bit encrypted sessions. And beyond that, our clients have the option to procure additional storage from an upgrade scenario. We warranty 50% of the base membership archive purchase, and we carry an approximate warranty across the upgrades. That approximate warranty ties to a liquidation model that we have in place for our cash return policy that runs somewhere between 73% and 78% across the upgrades. It's an average warranty on approximation of 75% cash return. Memberships in the basic archives are transferable to successors and heirs. The permanent and perpetual licensing agreement that ties to our basic membership is transferable as well. We do offer 24-month financing on our archive purchases. And this is not a security that we're offering, not a regulatory security. This is our purchase that we choose to defer into a unique cash management structure. We do offer a security as an investment to accredited investors through our finance subsidiary, American Generational Finance, and I'll probably get a couple of questions on that as we move forward. So when we look at a Gen-Ark, what's unique about what our clients are procuring? First of all, every one of our client archives and that application that they run in its own instance is located on its own dedicated virtual machine. We install our application and a unique operating system on behalf of our clients. They have the option to select a private subdomain of Gen-Ark, which provides an additional layer of security. Many of our clients choose to select a vanity domain that might reflect their family or institutional name. Our archive founders and owners are able to establish unlimited users to be permissioned to access their archive under very granular levels of permission and access. As I mentioned earlier, we maintain a minimum of 3 copies of file and metadata that are stored in 3 geographically disparate locations. So we have high-end disaster recovery built into our model offering as well. We run 256-bit session encryption. We store the full resolution of the files that our clients upload with us. We generate optimized versions for online viewing of all archive content. Many of our clients rely upon a built-in feature that allows them to establish and use an electronic safety deposit box for storing all of the ultra-confidential documents that might be found within a family archive that would be accessible only by a single designee or user. We also maintain industry-leading transcoding and rendering engines, and our transcoding technology going forward is a key component to how we preserve client data. We are able to support multiple common file formats. We're able to ingest file formats that are housed within proprietary containers. We also, as I mentioned, we wrap a considerable amount of free preservation and concierge support and consulting around each Gen-Ark prospect as well as client. Our archives come preloaded with quick start guides and owner manuals, and as I mentioned earlier, every archive purchase is backed by Gen-Ark's Digital Estate Asset Protection Plan, which is cash return under warranty and data return and metadata return under escrow. Our infrastructure is relatively interesting. We, as a custodian or trustee to our client data, we procure very much commodity or utility type of services as underlying components to our application delivery. We ride commodity infrastructure for CPU, bandwidth, and storage. Those vendors are going to come and go over time as technology and services change. We manage those changes seamlessly on behalf of our clients. And then under our trust management services, we also have to maintain in perpetuity our application, domains, security, databases, transcoding, and rendering engines. So our warranty, we talked about it a little bit, but every Gen-Ark's backed by a 25-year cash warranty and data escrow return. That comes out to an approximate warranty of 75% on every upgrade. We do have a unique cash management framework. We defer our purchases about 75% into a managed trust. Our banking partner here in the Pacific Northwest is Washington Trust Bank. They're the oldest privately owned bank in the state of Washington, and they provide custodial services over our deferred managed trust accounts. We also maintain a finance company subsidiary, American Generational Finance. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit on this slide coming up. So we recognize approximately 25% of every archive sale as revenue at the time of sale. We have costs of service that we need to maintain, and we need to maintain viability as an organization to continue to deliver this service. And about 75% of those purchases are deferred into our managed trust. Cash comes out of managed trust, out of dedicated cash management policy into American Generational Finance. And AGF maintains 3 portfolio companies. We have a small ticket equipment, commercial equipment leasing company. We have an asset-based commercial finance company that generates custom asset-based portfolio, typically lending short-term 6 to 18-month lines of credit to small to mid-market companies, all credit enhanced and secured by hard assets. And we also maintain a small commercial real estate portfolio. And we believe that to be an optimal blend of assets held in portfolio to support the recurring yields that we require to deliver the service on a permanent basis. So at Gen-Ark, at the end of the day, our clients are making a not insignificant purchase with us that's many times is viewed as an investment. We see a considerable amount of due diligence on behalf of many of our clients regarding our company and our operating model. And at the end of the day, for many of our clients, who we are is just as important as the service and value propositions we're looking to deliver. So myself, yours truly, Peter Schmidt, I'm the CEO and one of the founders of Gen-Ark. Our CFO is Gary Stone. Our Chief Operating Officer is Margaret Amo. David Hensley's our VP of Sales. David was the founder of ScanGuru, and he has been with us for about 2.5 months now. We're happy to have Dave on board. Stacy Johnson, who's been helping me with some of the technical issues on this call, is our marketing manager. And we have a real fantastic concierge support and customer support person in the form of Heather Schaub, who we'd be happy to put in front of any of your trusted client relationships. She's a real professional with a deep background in genealogy. And Brad Rothman's the director of our product development. And when we rattle through a couple of things here, I'm going to get on and provide you with a quick live demo of Gen-Ark's application, and we'll show you a little bit of my personal archive, and we can show you a little bit of some of the work that Brad has done in terms of our product development and user interface applications. So I'd had an opportunity to rattle off some of these names, but when you get into some of our board members that aren't officers, Stephen Moore is our chairman. Stephen is an active angel investor in the technology community here in Seattle. He brings a considerable amount of experience in the technology field. Jim Johnston is our general counsel and also a board member. Jim is a CPA and securities attorney. He was with a large Northwest firm called Lane Powell for about 16 years before he went into his private practice. Jim's been very instrumental in the development of our model as it relates to the legal components that tie in, including how we handle succession from an estate standpoint. And Michael Kunath is a longtime friend of mine, very established cache manager here in the Seattle area, and Mike has been extremely instrumental in helping govern the development of our cache management template. So our officers and our board members really do represent deep experience in all of the aspects of our model that are key disciplines: tech, finance, and legal. So with that, I'm going to move into just a quick demonstration, show you a little bit about my family archive. I hope you enjoy this. I think this is where it all comes together. So I'm going to sign into my private domain, schmidt.genark.com. This is a subdomain of Gen-Ark's prime domain, so it's a level 1 of security. And I will make the disclaimer right now that when we run, this is an online application, a SaaS model, and when I'm running this while doing a simultaneous screencast via this GoToMeeting webinar, we will get some interference and competition for bandwidth, which may affect the performance of the quick demo. But here we're into the Schmidt Family Archive. Here in this corner down here, you'll see this is the area where the founder has the opportunity to create a founder's message to leave for forward heirs and or other users of the family. We have an area here where we're able to constantly communicate with our clients and their permissioned users of their archive. If I move over here to the left, it'll activate the menu bar, which pops up. We can go to upload in a minute, but let's go into browse. Now, here is a parent-child category file format over here on the left. And this is a one view that's utilized to manage assets within the Gen-Ark product. In this particular situation, you're looking at categories I've defined to manage my family archive. Every asset that's in this archive is searchable. However, categories and their management and their establishment from a best practices standpoint are really important as it relates to setting and managing user controls and permissions. For instance, if you can see here, this is a Dropbox. There's no correlation between the service Dropbox. This is a folder that I've established for family members who wish to contribute content and where I can have the opportunity to manage the content that I might ultimately want to store within my archive. I have my safe deposit box, which as a founder, and my wife as a curator, which are high-level administrator type permissions, we're the only ones in our family that are permissioned to this archive that can see or access that safe box. So that is my electronic safe deposit box, and within that is all of my critical information. Now, my wife and I have modified our will, so in the event of something that might, of our demise occurring simultaneously, my will's been updated and modified to contain the access rights and permissions, user passwords, etc., which will extend to the executor of our estate so that they can pass on the curator position or permission within the archive to handle succession. Every archive comes loaded with sample content, so we'll pull that up. Now, right here, I'm in a thumbnail view, which is a classic view for managing assets. We can go to a cover flow view, which is a different way to consume the same content, which provides a little bit of a different view, a little more of a rich view. I'll go back to the thumbnail view for purposes of the demonstration. Every page within our archive has a built-in help index that's featured that ties to our user and operator manual. So whatever page I'm on, whatever functionalities are available on that page, I can quickly opt to defer over to this help button right here. Very helpful from a user standpoint. If I was working with assets within the archive and wanted to begin to manage them, very easy to come and highlight these buttons. They will populate the workspace over here, and you'll see those assets that have been highlighted in the workspace. And here's where I have the opportunity to provide management functions on those assets. I can zip them up and download them out, ship them out. I can link assets, which we'll cover a little bit. I can enrich the assets by providing a descriptive or other metadata based upon a bulk scenario. I can also organize them as well. we can ingest and stream video. This is a sample video, the Baby Monkey song, which is up to 5 or 6 million views on YouTube at the current time. This asset has initially been uploaded. It's a 4.57 megabit file. It's an MPEG file. We generate a streamable copy of this. I'll stream this in H.265. And I don't have the sound activated to conflict with my phone, but I'm streaming video right here. One of the functions that is really critical is the ability to generate a keyframe to as a thumbnail to represent a video asset within the archive. Very rarely does the default first frame represent the true gist of a video asset. So within this area, our clients and users can come in and actually select a keyframe that they might want to utilize to represent the asset as a thumbnail within the archive. I also have the ability to come in here by simply hitting this Enrich button, where it will take me to a metadata field where I have the opportunity to begin to populate and add metadata. And of course, there's additional fields that we provide here as well. Facial recognition and facial tagging is a challenge within a generational archiving environment. We can talk about that probably in a follow-up discussion, or perhaps a follow-up webinar. But the ability to come in and simply generate that metadata on the fly brings it all home as it relates to being able to work with those assets and generate search capabilities and search features. So here's an Excel spreadsheet which I can render and view within the archive itself. So having the ability not just to search documents or other assets, but also view them is really important inside an archive. Here's a document that has been scanned and stored as a PDF. It was scanned with OCR, so this document is textually searchable within the archive, the entire contents of the document. I'll go into, just very quickly, everybody, my daughter happens to be kind of cute, so we'll go into some of the sentimental assets very quickly. So here I can grab the asset, bring it up, I can view it, I can zoom into the asset if need be to examine, key function. And let's run a couple of quick searches. So I can use a simple search function. Junior football is a bit of a part of my family's legacy. So if I go to use a simple search, this will scan all of the metadata fields that are associated with all of the assets within my archive. And a simple search on junior football will yield 27 assets. And so if we peruse through these, you'll note there's 70 some odd years of junior football assets within my family archive. I could very simply add a voice annotation to this. I can download the original. If I wanted to do an extended search or an advanced search, I can hit the advanced search function. Now I can determine exactly which metadata fields I might want to utilize as part of my search. I can get into matching exactly or fragments of words. And this would come in handy when somebody might want to look for assets within their archive that, let's say, would be holidays within this date frame with these people at this location without that person, et cetera, et cetera. So infinite search capability is provided within the Gen-Ark solution. Voice narration, narrated photos. I won't take you to much of the sentimental things that are in here with my grandmother leaving messages to grandkids, etc. I do know that I had at one point in time I had created an annotation for a collegiate championship game. So here we'll pull up the asset, and I can note that there's a voice annotated file right here. And again, my sound's down, so we can't hear it. My senior year at Western Washington University, So voice annotation is a very important feature to make available to the clients within our archive, heavy sentimental. Users, very simple for our clients to establish and set up users. Here's a test user that I can establish. I can come in, I can set the permissions for this particular user as wide or as restrictive as need be. I can establish a user to only view and or contribute, and or add or change metadata. I can allow or deny different rights within each category I might provide them access to. This has all been built to be extremely intuitive and very simple for our clients to utilize and navigate. A couple of basic settings we allow our clients to utilize on top of the UI. They can change color screens. They can change the number of assets that are loaded with in a particular time, which can increase performance. And here we'll just do a quick change to take us to blue, show you how simple it is. And it'll drop us into a blue color scheme. These can be customized on request. Upload is very simple for our clients. Here I just go in and select the category, the destination category that I want those assets to be populated to. I can simply go to add files, in which point in time it'll activate my OS on my local OS, and I can locate files for upload in that capacity. I can also simply drag and drop items into this box right here to provide or perform rather bulk uploads as well. So this is just a little bit of the functionality that you'll find within a Gen-Ark. We cover every type of file. Our transcoding and rendering engines can ingest and render virtually any type of file that a family or institution is going to have a requirement to preserve and access. And with that, we'll drop back into the presentation. And with that, I'd be happy to open up to any questions. And one of the first ones that comes through is, can you please explain what you mean by approximate warranty? Okay, that's a good question. Every one of our upgrade products, we have a different level of a percentage of purchase that we defer. It's an actuary type of a model. We cannot guarantee a specific amount of return, cash return, but in every instance, it approximates about 75%. So our warranty is an approximate warranty of 75%, which the projected variance would be less than 1 to 2% plus or minus from 75%. And our sales agreements in terms and conditions of service have specific language regarding the warranty and its structure and how it performs in the event of any liquidation. But with that comes another comment, and that is that our services have been priced to deliver our value proposition at a profit, and we need to be a viable manager of our client content. Should anything happen to our organization, there is a compelling reason for a successor in interest to assume the management role that we provide on behalf of these long-term contracts. So long as the basis, quote unquote, is maintained, there's going to be plenty of incentive for successor and heir to continue to manage. The next question I'm looking at is, can you discuss further your investment option for accredited investors? Our subsidiary company, American Generational Finance, has a senior debt pool. So accredited investors can choose to make a senior secured investment in an AGF subsidiary. As a band, they retain access and ownership of those underlying assets, that cash basis. There are exit gates on that senior secured instrument, 5-year exit gates. And as opposed to receiving a cash yield year over year on that senior debt, those clients that are in those pools receive technology service delivery year over year as an alternative form of yield. It's not for all of our clients, but many of our higher net worth clients who do meet the accredited investor criteria and particularly might have significant and large archive requirements. Some of them do choose to procure their archives under that option. Another question is, how much time does it take to add descriptive and metadata? I think that's a pretty good question and probably came out of the short demo. It can take a considerable amount of time to generate descriptive and or metadata when you consider that many of these archives contain thousands, if not tens of thousands of assets. The ability to use the bulk metadata embellishment feature does cut down some of that time. But at the end of the day, these archives are meant to be historically accurate. And the amount of time and effort and energy that's put into generating descriptive data makes a big impact as it relates to the value of those assets going forward to heirs and successors. On our technology path, we do have some very interesting technology coming forward that will allow for metadata to be generated in automatic capacity. We'll be rolling out some additional information and announcements regarding those new features and capabilities as they come online, which the folks that we're in communication with should begin to see some of those announcements before the end of the year. Another question is, can your product be skinned to allow customization of partner branding? It can be. We do have the option to provide this service on an OEM or white label basis. To do so, there are minimum requirements as it relates to the number of archives that we would bundle under such a service agreement, and we can start at 125 instances. We can generate customizations regarding skinning or branding on a deal-by-deal basis, and there is additional charge for that. Another question. We developed a teaching module for APO members, APO is the Association of Professional Photo Organizers. We have a training and certification program that is about to become available online through our web portal, and we have generated that not just for organizers, whether they're professional organizers, professional photo organizers, or senior move managers. We've also generated that to support some of the educational requirements of other types of affiliates and referral agents that we work with, such as trust and estate professionals, financial planners, wealth managers, trust and estate attorneys, etc. So if you are interested in receiving any more information on that program, please feel free to contact me directly, and we'll get you some information as to when it's going to be coming online. I believe it's about a week away. Moving through, there's one more question here that I'd like to get to, and that is, can you store and preserve a family tree file, such as a GEDCOM file? Thank you very much for submitting that. Family tree research, genealogy research is an interesting one. It's certainly a subset of data that we see that many of our clients choose to preserve with us. Obviously, it's high value, and in many instances, there's been considerable hours spent in generating those. On our tech path, by the end of the year, we are going to be doing some very interesting things that relate to being able to render and dynamically interact with a GEDCOM file within our archive. At the present time, we can ingest and can preserve the GEDCOM file within the Gen-Ark, so ancestry files can be uploaded to Gen-Ark for preservation. The rendering and viewing of those GEDCOM files is on its way, and as I've mentioned, that's a new feature that's in our tech path that hopefully we'll be rolling out before the end of the year, along with a very neat mobile app for Android and iPhone, which will allow our customers to access and view their archives on the fly, but also generate content for direct contribution to their archives from the field. So the ability to take a picture, generate a video, voice annotate on the spot, and upload to the archive. And that's under development. It's currently in testing, and that will be released inside the next couple of months. So it's going to be a really neat feature for our clients and our client families and the users that are permissioned to view and contribute and work with these archives. So I'm not sure if there's any more questions coming in. If they are, please feel free to go ahead and shoot them. I know we covered a lot of information, and I really appreciate all of those in attendance, your time and your interest. I know that there are different types of professionals on the call, and I know that our services might carry a little bit of a different value proposition to the client bases of yours, but we really appreciate your time and interest. please feel free to contact me directly or any of our staff regarding any questions you might have regarding Gen-Ark, our company, team, application, service, etc. And we welcome those calls and look forward to having a chance to get further acquainted. So with that, I'd like to thank you very much for your time from the beautiful town of Snoqualmie, Washington. And you all have an enjoyable rest of your week, and we look forward to being in touch soon. Thank you very much for your time.